You know, it's something about Jason Momoa that anything he does, he's just super intense, and this one followed suit. But I know you all have been anticipating this film as much as I have, so let's jump into the review of his new film, Sweet Girl. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the film Sweet Girl, which is going to be releasing on Netflix August 20th. Now, Jason Momoa plays this guy, Ray Cooper, and beyond that, I'm just going to say he is always intense, and that just brings an extra level of emotion to anything he does, whether it's something kind of dramatic, something that's just with a lot of anger, or something that's just, you know, truly emotional. He just elevates it with everything he does. Maybe it's his presence, maybe it's I don't know. It's just something about him that he just always adds just that extra bit of oomph to everything he does. And this truly was part of the catalyst in this film. But but to a surprise, Isabela Merced, I believe how you say her last name, who plays his daughter in this. Well, it's funny that she also kind of channels her little inner Jason Momoa, because even she did the same. She plays Rachel Cooper, and like, here's the thing. Ray is out to fight for justice in the big pharmaceutical companies who he deems responsible for his wife dying of cancer. They had a treatment available, and then they pulled it, and thus his wife died, and it sent him in a rage, and he is out to figure out who is responsible for who's running that company. And anytime you're talking about anything with pharmaceutical companies, you know there's a tie, and the pharmaceutical company is called a Bioprime. You know there's always a tie to something else, and this one is politics and Congress, and you know, people are taking bribes with money and all sorts of different things, and he's out here to discover and get to the bottom of everything. So he's on a hunt to get revenge, and he's looking for the person who is responsible. Very simple plot. However, there's something that typically you don't see in these type of films. When somebody wants revenge, that's typically the entire film. But the fact that he got his revenge pretty early in this film, you like, well, what's next? Well, this because he gets caught in the crosshairs of, number one, the person that he went after, he has they got backup, and there's a higher person, so now they're coming for them. And then obviously he murdered somebody, so you got the FBI now after him and his daughter, who is on the run now. So here's the thing, this film had a pretty solid hand-to-hand combat. This train scene that they had was actually really good. And overall, the plot was kind of simple. The action was solid. Nothing that kind of blew me away. But when we start to when you track how long this film is, and then when you think about when you get to certain parts of this film, you're like, well, what's next? What's to come? Because they have accomplished what they wanted to accomplish, and so on, but they're still on the run. So you're kind of looking at, well, what's the solution of this? There's a twist in this film that's a little bit surprising. I don't want to say go as far as saying it's unique, because somebody had done something like this before, but this was, I guess the word we'll use here is refreshing, because I did not see it happening in the way that it did. And then this film has a little bit of a theme around it too, which I'm just going to break this all down. So let's jump into spoilers of this film right now, folks. So it's kind of crazy that while we thought that it was Ray, Jason Momoa's character, the entire time, he actually died pretty early in this film, and it was his daughter Rachel channeling his inner rage and thinking, or her inner rage, and she's manic because she clearly thinks that he's still alive and that they're you know, doing this journey together, but all the events of what she thinks he's doing, she's the one actually doing it. And she's quite crazy, but at the same time we saw signs of it when she was training after she got her butt whooped initially, and then there was also other signs where people were like projecting dialogue to her instead of Ray. So the fact that we seen the film come full circle, where at the beginning of the film where they were at PNC Park, in Pittsburgh. And you know, we kind of started off the film with Jason Momoa being there, where actually it was never him there in the first place, because he had died after the train scene. So that means that all this time, all these things that are happening, it was actually Rachel the one doing it. And that's a little bit unbelievable, because there's no way I think that she killed 5 trained grown men assassin by herself. I just don't see that happening. But I mean, I guess we just kind of go with it. And you know, why also, when did she start to develop these type of skills in order to survive and to flee the country? Like, how did she learn all these things, and like, who was helping her? But I'll come back to that one second. I will say that the final fight sequence was pretty dope, and I think that when the conspiracy that's all around this, I think, is, you know, something that you're accustomed to in storytelling or in films. Like, they've used this before, so it's really easy to get on board with what's happening. But then the real interesting thing here, because like, not only is she's on the FBI's wanted list and she's just walking through all types of random government facilities, it's still the idea that she fled a country by herself, or did she? And it's starting to make me think, especially with the commentary about, you know, where do parents stop and then let their kids begin. And then it starts to make you think, well, maybe he really didn't die, because he did say to her while he was laying there that we will be okay, we'll be fine, we'll survive, or whatever, one of those. So maybe Ray really didn't die, and he's there still helping her, because somebody had to help her get a passport and get all these other things and the pictures of the family. That how would she have gotten that? So I think that's an interesting thing that they may be trying to set up for something in the future. I mean, Jason Momoa is obviously super marketable, and this story may be more popular than I would assume, but like, I just think that there were some unbelievable moments, maybe more than some unbelievable moments, but if you get past that, then I think overall the film is just kind of solid. And then there's going to be people that's just going to watch it just for Jason Momoa, and then when they find out that, like, oh, potentially he died, that may actually turn some people off, so who knows. But all in all, why this film is Sweet Girl, she's anything but sweet, because she does a lot of crazy things and a lot of harm to people, and it's kind of irrational. And as I said, she's kind of manic, but she fulfilled the goal of what, you know, her dad wanted her to do, and that's to get to the bottom of this and expose the pharmaceutical company and the government behind it. So, you know, she did her thing, and I guess that what matters is that somehow, somewhere, there's supposed to be a happy ending in this, but who knows. But yeah, this is Sweet Girl, folks. You can check this out on Netflix August 20th. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about this film. Do you think that Ray Cooper, Jason Momoa character, he's still alive? What proof do you got? I mean, with all this conspiracy stuff happening in this film, you might as well just throw some in the comments as well, too. But yeah, folks, jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about this film. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews.